Oh my god. Greetings, friends and fellow orcs. I agree the orcish fiddler, and oh my goodness, I already have to start out the stream with so many thank yous. So this is my first affiliate stream, just to sort of set the stage here. On Wednesday morning after last week's stream, I received an invitation from Twitch to become affiliate, and I was very confused because I was like, what? I didn't think I made the requirements. Like, I've only been streaming once a week. And I checked, and apparently, somehow I hit the requirements. So I talked with some people, and everybody was saying, go for it. So here we are. We are now affiliate. Um, and I want to thank you guys so much. We are here, and I appreciate that you are here so very much. Um, and I want to thank Hungry Gorilla. First and foremost, she subscribed 3 days ago. I was not even streaming. I was kind of messing around in OBS and working in Firebot and trying to get things set up. And we were talking about like in Discord on different things like to have for channel point redemptions. And she just subscribed to me. And it's like, oh my goodness. So I wasn't even streaming yet. She subscribed. And Val, just now, thank you for subscribing 6 months in advance. Oh my goodness. All y'all and your support and your kindness. I am in tears right now. I really am. It's just amazing that I just reached this point. Like, I didn't think I was going to. This whole week has been such a whirlwind. Between getting everything ready, well, first and foremost, just sort of figuring out am I gonna jump? Like, I'm sort of looking over this because the main thing is like now the stream is also capable of being monetized, which means now we've got advertisements, so I had to figure out a strategy for that. Wolf, welcome in, and thank you. Yes, affiliate hype. It is very hype. Satiated Gria, welcome in, and Zug Zug right back at you. Excuse me. So yeah, this past week I've been just sort of just trying to get together all the different things, um, just so that there's like, fun things to work with. There's still a lot more that I have to do. Um, so I do have channel points. There's a lot that I've kind of thrown in there. Um, I still am probably gonna have to do some adjustments to some of it, but I've got some basic things like you can remind me to stretch. Basically, care package type stuff. It's kind of for chat as well. It's a reminder for chat to also get up and stretch. Reminder for hydration. We've got an option for snack. They do have cooldowns on them so that I'm not drowning in water. Snack, because I do very closely monitor my diet and what I eat. It is limited to 4 for everybody the entire stream. So once everybody has done a cumulative 4 snacks, there's no more snacks for me. And I actually pre-measured ahead of time. It's something I'm going to plan out for stream. Is there a nap button? I mean, there's a lurk command, exclamation point lurk. I can add that to the to the list of suggestions. Let me actually write that down. Nap. Okay. So we've got a nap idea. So there's some things we'll kind of take a look and play around with. Um, in terms of the channel points, though, so I've got stretch, we've got refreshment, which is hydrate, we've got snack. This one is one that I was a little nervous about. Right now it's set at 800. I might need to adjust that. I'm not sure how much is a fair amount. But I have an option for story time. So the way that this works is if somebody requests story time, I do have a story that I have written. when we get to that, I have some additional expectations I will kind of need to set about the story itself, just to sort of set the stage, because it's a draft. It's, you know, it's not going to be my best work or anything. But if you want to hear me read and try to like keep my voice as calm as possible, I don't know how calm I'll be tonight, because I might have a little bit of nervousness. But if somebody has 800 channel points and they want to spend it on story time, we'll stop what we're doing. I'll bring up the story, and we will read a segment from it. It's I split it up into 30 segments. Each segment is around 15 minutes or so. It does vary, because sometimes some are longer, some are slightly shorter. But that's about what you can expect. I also have the option, if you want to curse stream, you can spend your channel points to summon a demon, or what I call a fell spawn. And that's going to play a demonic sound in my ears. Wolf, you're probably familiar with exactly which sound I'm talking about. Okay, Retro Zone, you know all the times that I've done exclamation point demon? This is your chance for revenge. But if you don't want to curse stream, if you'd like to bless stream, there is also an option for a lucky orc dance. So I'm actually going to demonstrate this one for you so that you can see exactly what it is, because I feel like today's a pretty blessed day, so I'm going to go ahead and bless today's stream. So here we go. So as Truman once said, that one's for free. If you've watched The Truman Show, you know exactly what I'm referring to. Anyway, so there are a lot of things in there, and the other thing that I have on there is a bit of lore. So the channel point that I've selected is called Crone, which is a coin from the world building that I've been doing. So you can see all of the different coins from what I would call my orcish homeland. It shows all the different denominations. You can donate one of each of the different denominations as you build up channel points if you'd like, and it'll basically show you like information about that coin before you spend it, and then whenever you do spend the channel points on it, the bot will actually show you kind of what it purchases, and then that's a donation that will go to an orc in need, you know? So it's kind of like you're donating your channel points for a good cause, as it were. I do have some other ideas that I'm still playing with, but I don't have set up. But I still got to kind of figure things out. Like, I could have, like, roll dice. My sister got me... my sister or my nephew, I can't remember, got me a very big, chonky set of, like, NPC dice. So I could randomly roll an NPC. In fact, I should put that in my list of ideas. Roll dice. Roll NPC. And it's a, might as well keep the pen down there. So it's a big chunky set. You can hear that. That's what we got. So we got like their class, their gender, which includes androgynous, their alignment, their CR, their species, and their disposition. So if you want me to roll an NPC, I got big chunky dice to do that. If you just want me to roll a d20 or something, I could do that. If you guys think that would be a fun idea, let me know. And I can see about including that. Let's see, what else? The other thing, I guess, that I kind of want to look at, or just want to talk about, is advertisements. So right now, I have it set so that there are pre-rolls and there are no scheduled mid-rolls. The reason for this is I find it very distracting if there are mid-rolls that interrupt a conversation or any action going on during stream. So I don't want mid-rolls to be that kind of interruption. I know that not everybody likes pre-rolls. I know that it can mean that like people like are more likely to click away because like when you click on them, they want to see what you're doing. They don't want to see an ad, and some people get annoyed by that. I get it. So this is the lesser of the two evils. Now, that said, I could probably run a 3-minute ad during the stream start, because that's about a 5-minute window. I start stream 5 minutes before 8 o'clock, and that's just to give people time to filter in, just to say hi, and just like sort of chill to a little bit of music before we get started. But I do have like the option of disabling pre-rolls. Right now, pre-roll is on. I don't have any time set up. Apparently, if I run 3 minutes worth of ads, I get an hour without any pre-rolls. So that may be something that I do during that 5-minute window. And maybe if we take a break, that may be another time to run that. But that's something that I will announce. That's not something that I want to spring on people, because I know how advertising is just really super annoying. I should point out, in terms of monetization, like monetization is not something that I consider a focus of this. This has always been a hobby for me. It's just something for fun. My main goal, my main goal that I wanted to do for Twitch is orc emotes. And the only way to do that is to become an affiliate. So now that I've reached that, it is possible to bring orc emotes into the world. I'm still shopping for an artist. I've got some rough ideas and rough expectations in terms of where to go for that. I have been planning this. I just am really bad at shopping for talent. So I don't know how long it will be before I actually do have those ready. I do have one emote for you guys, which is the Hey emote. Because one of the things I want, and I'll just put that in there, one of the things I also want is unlockable utility. And you guys will have to let me know if this is something that you find would be suitable, or if this is something that you feel is not a good idea. So one of the things that I know that you can do is you can unlock emotes to use anywhere using bits. So there's like a 1,000, I think it's 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, and then I think further ones have requirements before they can be unlocked, and you can actually like do those. I can't remember. I'd have to load my file and figure that out. So my initial plan was to take that Hey emote and put it into the cheapest bit slot, so that if you wanted a way to greet people, and you were supporting the channel anyway, that would eventually unlock. Where it is right now, it's just in the follower emote, so as long as you're following, you can use it here in this channel. If you want to use it anywhere else, though, you have to be subscribed. I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but whenever you bring up the little emote button, like in chat, it seems like any follower emotes that you use often, don't actually go into your favorites. I don't know why that is. But yeah, I'm still sort of figuring out like where these are going to go. If anybody has any particular thoughts, let me know. I do have a Discord. !Discord if you'd like to join the Discord, and reach out to me and just kind of let me know what your thoughts are. I'm open to suggestions. And anybody watching the VOD afterwards on YouTube, of course you're welcome to kind of leave a comment, let me know kind of what your thoughts are. I know that YouTube doesn't have emotes or anything like that. So it's really only applicable to the Twitch viewers. Now that said, I do have a quick question. Did anybody start with any channel points? Now, Val, I know that because you subscribed, you actually gained channel points when you did that. But Wolf and SG, or just anybody lurking, like, did you start at 0 channel points, or did you actually have something built up? Like, how did that work? Totally 0. Okay. So nobody builds channel points until somebody becomes affiliate. Good to know, because I didn't know if, like, people would actually come into chat who have been viewers for a while. I didn't know if they would actually have. You got to be streaming too. Yeah. So I didn't know if there was anybody like any cumulative watch time prior to me becoming affiliate would have actually generated channel points. But it looks like that's not the case. So when people follow the account, they get 300 channel points. Okay. You just got the 300 for subscribing. Okay. All right. I see. Yeah. So that's a little. Honestly, I think it would be nice if they give people who followed before affiliate at least the follows points. But it's one of those things. It'll build up over time. So there you go. I think that covers everything that I wanted to touch on in terms of this great big change to this. If there is anything that's being done that we find is too disruptive, it's kind of on the annoying side. Like, all the channel point redemptions do have an associated sound, but I tried to keep them fairly subtle. The lucky orc dance, it's a bit of, smooth jazz. The only real disruptive one is going to be summoning a demon. Everything else, well, we'll kind of see how it goes. If they get a little bit out of hand, then I can make some adjustments. I am trying to lean a little bit more towards a pretty laid back kind of stream, but I do like to have a little bit of fun things. My main goal, it's like, so Wolf, you would be familiar with Diffuse Moose. He's a great streamer, really great guy. His channel can be a little bit overstimulating in terms of, like, everything going on. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. Yeah, you are familiar with Moose. So I want to make sure that I'm not reaching overstimulation levels of things going on the screen. But I still want there to be something fun. So I'm hoping that I achieve that balance. We'll see what happens over time. Fraginus, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. I hope you enjoy your stay. And yeah, I want to say that be still my heart, Anortha Urke. Yes. I am an orc. I am Iagra, the orcish fiddler. And I've reached my goal of affiliate, and now I'm hoping to bring more orc emotes to Twitch so that we've got more orc representation. And I'm working on it. So I hope you all will be patient with me as I try to figure this stuff out. Along with other things I need to figure out, like advertisements and things like that. Again, I'm focused more on keeping everything as unintrusive, as uninterrupted as possible. So I will announce when there are going to be things, but that there are pre-rolls, so there is that. All right. I think I've gone over everything. Shall we play some Daggerfall? And I do want to say thank you once again to everybody who has helped me reach this point. You are all awesome. You are all cherished. And I really appreciate all of you. You've drawn an orc before. Now that you think about it, well, that's good. Draw more orcs. You can't draw too many orcs. Unless your hand is tired, then you might want to stop for a while. Alright. Now, I believe when we last left off, we were working on raising Mage's Guild a little bit. We wanted to be able to make enchantments. because there are some... Well, let's just say Daggerfall is a little bit broken when it comes to enchantments. And it's part of the game, so we're probably going to exploit that. So, let us talk to Mordisteer Kingsmith. How broken is it? Let's just say Magicka won't be a problem once I finish getting myself fully outfitted. Because right now I've got... Where is it? 210 spell points, or Magicka. I'm gonna have a lot more by the time we're finished. So, I can cast much more powerful spells if I need to. If it makes the game too easy, maybe I'll take some of the jewelry off. We'll have to see what happens. But, we have to get there first. Right now, we're just trying to survive. Let's get a quest. Journeyman, I need someone who can cast the open spell. Please tell me you have learned this by now. They are looking for the very specific open spell that you purchase, and I do not have that, so... Yeah, let's get a different quest. If you are capable of casting the standard Circinate spell Sleep, a friend of the guild is in need. So that's what they're called, Circinate spells. That's the ones that you purchase. I do not have this. One of our more brilliant students is absolutely mad for something called Ghoul's Tongue. It's the latest fad amongst the youth, which we haven't had much call for before. Would you, if it's not too much of a bother, scurry on over to this particular locale and grab some for us? That I can do. An excellent attitude, Iagra. You are looking for Ghoul's Tongue, which can be found in the Temple of Malon. It's a very fancy melon. You have 15 days to bring it back. Alright. Bleh. Malon. Does anybody remember the controls for Daggerfall? Alright. So this is about 40 hours worth of travel. So for anybody who has played Daggerfall before, ordinarily, there is not really a whole lot going on between points of interest. I do have some mods installed to change the terrain, have some additional things, have a player-controlled journey. Exclamation point DFU mods, if you want to see exactly which mods we are running. We will do that, and then I have to hit this because we have to actually exit first. How's my equipment? I'm still running all steel stuff. I think we need to level up more. So I did look up like an equipment table, not an equipment table, like a tier table. And I'm not going to be looking at anything new outside of, I think Dwarven is the best that I get for now. I'm not going to get anything better for another 2 levels? I think it's level 6 or 7 where the next tier of equipment unlocks. And then 9. And then it's fairly rapid after that, like 10, 11, 12. Daedric unlocks surprisingly soon. You've never played any Elder Scrolls games prior to Skyrim, and you're currently glued to ESO. Oh, dude, I shouldn't say dude. It's dude in the gender-neutral tomb. I don't want to make an assumption. But I have played so much ESO. Oh my goodness. ESO is one of those games, first and foremost, they do have the sexiest orcs of the Elder Scrolls games at present time. Skyrim's pretty good. Skyrim is pretty good. But I like to think I did a... You're a sexy male Durg? Alright, gotcha. Alright. Well, sexy male Durg, there are sexy male orcs to be found in ESO. As you may have discovered, The Argonians are not bad either, but I'm rather fond of the beefiness of the orcs. In fact, I don't know if you were here earlier, but I did do the lucky orc dance. So if you do spend 7,777 krone, which is our channel currency, you too can see my ESO character wearing just some shorts do the sexy Redguard dance. Of course, being an ESO, you could probably see that any time you wanted, provided that you had an orc willing to do the Redguard dance. but yeah, so that is one of the things that we have available. Anyway, I am fond of ESO, but I did get burnt out on it. Let's go ahead and save ongoing quest. And Wolf, thank you for your donation of a Randa, which is, with this one, we can provide a full day's home-cooked meals for even the beefiest of orcs. So a Randa is worth 32 krone. And my brain, for some reason, is, like, freezing. And I don't remember what a Randa is worth. A Randa is the large silver coin. So there's this, it goes copper coin, small silver, small gold, large gold. And then the Larai is a gold coin with a platinum core. So it's a bimetallic coin. But thank you for providing food for a hungry orc, Wolf. At first, you thought that orcs in Skyrim were more attractive. You're talking about the two specific ones in Dushnik. Oh, I know who you're talking about. In fact, the one in specific tends to be Orc Husband. You do agree that the orcs in ESO have grown on you. Yeah, it kind of depends on if you're able to kind of manipulate the sliders in a way that you find appealing. It took me hours to create my character. We'll just say that. Oh, hello, can I help you? How can I help you? You can't, I'm just standing here. I'm just standing here looking pretty. Goodbye. We should get on our journey. I meant to do a save. Okay, so I did that. Let's do a quick save. I did do that, right? Yes, I did. Okay, good. Okay, now we're going to continue our journey. As soon as I remember the button. There we go. Okay, we'll bump this up to 30 times speed. I think 30 was safe. So this is not normally a Daggerfall feature. This is a feature of a mod where we get to walk cross country. There are roads that we could also take, but they're a little bit tricky to navigate. It would be great if I could just tell the roads like where I want to go, and then like it would just figure out a path like a GPS. Khajiit and Argonians are your favorite. That is fair. My sister tends to play Khajiit characters almost exclusively. Well, no, she might have some of the elven races. Khajiit is your main? Nice. Believe it or not, you have 20 characters in ESO. I can believe it. I have one of each class, and then I have a water gatherer. And then I also have a second alt account. But that's only got a couple of characters on it. Oh no, I have one of each class except for the newest one, the Arcanist. Every class is oh wow, okay. Very, very busy. I don't have the everybody like max dredge or anything. Work kind of kept me from really dedicating time to it after a while. My main is a Templar. I do have all the skills maxed out from the point that I took a hiatus. Ooh, lumpy. Ooh, rainy. Oh, it wants me to take pills. I already took my pills. I think. Oh, I did not take my pills. Oh, everything's happening at once. Okay, one moment, please. Need to take my pills. Meant to do that before stream and forgot. And I'm actually gonna redeem the hydrate. Because I just had a little bit of water. Everybody, we should stay hydrated. Water is life. So, if you haven't already had a chance to do so, have a drink. Okay, who's trying to... Is it this? Is it something else? I just realized my stamina is super low. Okay. 1 Imperial, 2 Bretons, 2 Redguard, 1 Orc, 2 Altmer, 4 Khajiit, 1 Bosmer, 1 Nord, 3 Dunmer, and 3 Argonians. And a partridge in a pear tree. That is quite the assortment. Ooh, ow. I feel somewhat bad. Oh no. Oh no. Health, health, health. I have been poisoned. Okay. Ooh, this is health damage. Okay. First aid. Now the question is, will the poison wear off? I am concerned. Are we good? Okay, the poison wore off. Whew. Okay. Poison is something that I have a lot of concerns about in this game. It scares me. It can kill you. It's very good at killing you. What is this place? Hi. Okay, I was gonna say, you want to be my friend, but clearly you don't want to be my friend, so. A map. Oh. Shoot, I don't have the, I gotta get my one thing loaded here. Where do I have this saved? I forgot to bring up my notes. Gotta get to the folder with my notes. Is this it? This is it. Okay. Anytime I find a map, I do mark it. I did do this one. Alright. Scrap of parchment shows the location of the haunt of Nebukivor. Nebukivor? Something. You recorded on your map. So, the haunt of Nebukivor. In Wayrest. Alright. Did I clear the other corpse? Did I take the stuff off? Ooh, look, loot. Is that a place I can enter? I did not take your stuff. Oh. I forgot to convert my gold pieces to a note. Or a letter of credit. This is fine. Fool's Ebony, Part the Oneth. That's going to be another book for us to read later. That's not a storytime book, by the way. The storytime is exclusively things that I've written. If we read anything in the game, those ones are free. Let's see. Different classes, 2 in every alliance. Plus a large quantity of characters means you can make around 100,000 gold with crafting bits per day. When you have time. Yeah, I was going to say, just the characters that I have, like when there's an event running, in fact, I believe there is, the anniversary event has just started. that generally I will do writs on all my characters to take advantage of that. And that takes a bit of time. That, like, just this, I think 7 characters? 6? I can't remember how many I rolled through. Yeah, they that usually takes me a bit of time. Is this, can we enter? No. Okay. Well, I mean, it would have been nice. That would have been pretty cool. But yeah, it looks like we're okay now. Can we sleep? The event's on. Oh, the Jesters Fest is going to be ending in 2 days. Oh, shoot. Well, I'll try to get on there reasonably soon. I usually try to do something, like I try to do the Jesters events once. But I just haven't had a chance, and I forgot that was rolling. Whoops. Oh well. That's fine. I'm kind of out of the loop. Let's rest. No. Until healed. Yeah, I kind of expected that. Oh, hi! Poor little dragon thing. That was not going to be your snack. You should have known better. Oh, hello. Ow. Ow. Could you stop? Could you stop? Alright, time for another nap. There we go. Alright. Let us continue our journey. This time, though, let's maybe go on a horse. And I can't travel with enemies nearby. I don't see anything. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Alright. Make me climb up after you jerks just so I can get on my horse and continue my journey. Don't you swing at me, you jerk! You think you're so smart coming up here first aid. I will attack those baddies, absolutely. Now we have a problem. I haven't figured out how to, like, climb down without hurting myself. Oh well. No, stop! I can't control my fall! I didn't know you can't control your fall. You just keep going. Okay. Well, good thing, good to learn that sooner rather than later. Alright. Now, can we get on our horse and continue our journey? Yes. Alright. Enemies are seeking to prevent your travel. Is my enemy a rock? Oh. Okay. My enemy is behind the rock. Hi there. Nope, don't shoot any arrows at me. Stop it! Ow! Ladies. cool your jets. Thank you. Problem is that you've been trying to get the fragments for the Sovereign Sow Pet, and apparently they have such a low drop rate. You only got 5 since you started playing when Greymore launched, and you mostly get ones per year. Oh, I don't even remember how I went about doing that. Is that a fragment that can be traded, or is it like, can you get it with the tickets? So it's this kind of nightclub. Yeah, it's ooh, Dwarven Tonto. That'll be worth a little bit of coin. It's that kind of place. Yeah, it's been a little while since I got that, so I don't remember exactly what the requirements are. Are you a loot? You are a loot. You are also a loot. Ooh, you're also a loot. I don't know what the little gem-looking things are. Okay, cool. Think we're clear. No, not equip, remove. Throw all this stuff in my... Okay, there we are. That's good. Get on horse and continue. It's bound on pickup. Game says only found on stupendous gesture boxes, the gold coffers, or still the impresario doesn't sell them for tickets, which she should. I could have sworn she had. Oops, I just wandered into a bandit camp. My bad. Ow! Don't have to be so rude. Okay, just because you have the high ground doesn't mean you're going to do any better up there. Ow, that hurt. That's a pretty good longsword. It's too bad I'm not using blades. Yeah, I'm not sure. I could have. Do they even do they curate the drops or anything, or is it stupendous? Is that's the one that's just 1 per day, right? Okay, I think. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. So it's really just a matter of you get to do it once per day, and then you get to, you've done your roll. At least it's quick. And that's per account, if I remember correctly. Which makes it even harder. The drops are curated, but it's all RNG. Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice if they made that a little bit easier for you guys, but well, I say you guys, but really just for everybody, because technically I'm also a part of that community. Oops, I didn't want to open the map. Let's see. We're done. Back on horseback. Quick save. Continue journey. Yeah, and being bound, you can't even get help from other people. Because my sister and I would help each other out with, like, whatever components that we needed for stuff. Considering the event is 5 days, it's... Oh, yeah, that's true. Has anybody, like... Nope. Has anybody, like, posted on the forums about that? Like, kind of, like, posted the math? I mean, they're going to be limited on the kind of math they can do because they don't know the actual percent chance. But even if it's a 100% drop rate, how many fragments do you need to complete that? You made a post of it on Reddit. Do they read Reddit? I should. Okay, well, I was going to camp, but okay, I guess we'll fight. Wah! Spider! Okay, well, I wanted to take a nap anyway. Okay. You need 7. So you're almost there. It's one of those tantalizingly close sort of things. Well, hopefully soon. Let me ask you something. Do you kind of do what I was trying to do, which was be a completionist? Ow! Oh, you're a spellblade or something. Nightblade. Yeah, close enough. I tear out your heart. No, or just take the danger heart that's in your pocket. Either or. I would prefer to travel during the day. What it was 2, 3 more hours, I'd say. Okay. Sorry, little dragonling. Ah! Oh, jeez! I was not expecting that. It sounded like a were-boar. Jeez. Yeah, were-boar. So, we are not harming the werewolf's friends just now. We'll put it this way, they are probably challenging us to a duel. You do sort of, the game is extremely huge, so you can't possibly get every achievement, especially involves Vet Dungeons trials, and certainly at least PvP. Yeah, so I am something of a completionist myself, and for very early in the game, so I played when ESO first went subscriberless, when it was just buy once and then you're free to play it. That's when my sister and I bought the game and we started playing. So it was about a year after it went live. And back then, being a completionist was more attainable. The most challenging things that I had to deal with were the Dwemer pages and the glass pages to get those motifs. And I figured, okay, well, this is going to take a while, but it's realistic. I can do this. And then I think they realized how to cater to that crowd in order to hold your attention, like keep you in the game. And now there's so many motifs, I can't possibly hope to complete that. So I changed my 100% completion goal to cooking instead. And I do know... What is this? Hang on. Something on my keyboard. Okay. My beard is shedding. There's a hair on it. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. So there's the recipes, which I figured was going to be a little bit more easy for me to do. Which I definitely have a lot more of those. I don't know if I'm at 100% anymore, though. Fashion... Jesus frickin'... I'm having a conversation! Do you mind? Yeah, okay, you two figure it out. This is bad. Ow! Oh, God! Hold that thought, zombie. Any of this something I can use? Nope. Okay, cool. I probably shouldn't have saved. Zombies are scary as hell. Oh, you got a dwarven saber. Alright. I will take that. Put some money in there so that I'm not holding quite so much. Anyway, what was I saying? I'm sorry. My train of thought got interrupted by people attempting to murder me. Yeah, I think what I was getting at is, there's a lot of stuff to get an ESO, and 100% acquisition of all the things. As much as I would love to do that, it's no longer a realistic goal. Our best and most favorite ever present Cricket is again having a fun time. Yes! Should we name him Jiminy Cricket? Do you want to give him a name, SG? Is Jiminy Cricket adequate, or should we name this cricket something else? Let's get on our horse and get out of here. Okay, the cricket's taking a nap. Conscience cricket. I have trouble saying that word, I don't know why. Cricket name is Horse. Okay. Horse's name is Cricket. Okay, I'm okay with that. That is a fast horse, yes. Well, it's 30 times the speed that we would normally be going. What is trying to kill me now? Ah! Jeez, freaking... I should not normally... I'm not normally this pro to starling, I swear. Oh my goodness. That is a fast cricket, yes. It's like, I'm turning around looking for it. Where could it be? I literally have to do a 360 circle, and then it's like right where I should have been looking all along. Alright, let's get back on our cricket. Put our weapon away, save, and continue our journey. Yeah, so we're going at 30 times our normal speed, so this is our normal horse speed. But that would literally take us 40 hours to get there, so we're gonna speed up time. Because I think we want to get there at some point today. Yeah, and just so you're aware, this is a mod. But welcome in, Fallen Jin. Oh, we got more stuff. Let's get back here. They did it again. I'm gonna have to start turning to the right. So instead of turning counterclockwise, turn clockwise. Can I sleep here? Yeah, I think I'm far enough away I can sleep here. What time is it? It is really early in the morning. How far away are we? Temple of Malon. I don't think we're that far away. Yeah, it's not too much longer. I think we'll be able to make it. We'll be fine. Our loyal cricket shall take us where we need to go. Okay. Okay, I turned clockwise. Why? I swear. Ah! Anything else? Are you done? Hi-ho, cricket away. We've arrived at our destination. That was short. Okay. What were we here for again? Ghoul's tongue? Ghoul's tongue. Where's the entrance? Is it behind this rock? No. Excuse me, tree. It's gotta be somewhere in these ruins. Over here? Nani? Okay, let's just try walking straight forward. I don't think that's gonna actually help. Where's the entrance? Did I just miss it? Am I just really unobservant right now? Oh, wait, no, there it is. No? Okay, here it is. Oh my goodness. I am not observant today. Okay, nope, not this. Save, rest until healed. It's getting dark and spooky. Have we put everything away that we need put away? Gold. Yeah, it's fine. Hidden in plain sight, pretty much. Alright. Let's go ahead and save it into ongoing. Quick save. "13 days remaining." Ah! Hi! A sorcerer. Okay. Sure, let's go with that. Another sorcerer that apparently doesn't use spells. That's fine. You don't have to. Okay. Ghoul's tongue, huh? Let's, before we start going down places. Oh. Oh no. Okay. Well. Okay. You guys have fun. No, 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 no. Look, there's a harpy that wants to say hi. There we go. Okay. I'll take out the harpy next. First aid, please. Oh, the harpy... Yeah, I wasn't trying to access my wagon, but thanks. Healer, huh? Okay. Elven... Oh, hang on. I want that. No, wait, I've already got an Elven right. No, I've got Silver right. Okay. And a potion recipe. What is that? Iron? Okay. You cannot use this. Okay, well, how about this? Turquoise, pine branch, white rose, and ichor. What is this for? Resist frost. Okay. Well, that's cool. I'm never going to use it, though. It's much too inconvenient. What am I hearing? What I assume is a harpy? I hear a door. Hi? Ow. I mean, the harpies in ESO are a little bit better looking. Just as annoying, though. Oh! Speaking of completionist stuff, if you're still there, Fraginus, it took me so long to get that stupid harpy feather for the one achievement to get a clothing dye. It was the last thing that I needed for that achievement, and it took me months, I think, before I finally got it. Oh, okay. Unlock. Come in. Actually, stay on the other side of the door. Here, let me help you with that. Apparently he doesn't have the key. Which one? I can't remember. One of the browns, I think. Usually I'm wearing, like, pretty earthy tones. Like blacks, whites, and browns. Oh, jeez. A loot pile. But yeah, I don't remember exactly what the name of it is, just offhand. Oh. That was my doing. That works. There. That helps. Actually. Every little bit helps. Okay. I specifically chose not to go this way, so I'm going to leave that closed. That said, I do wonder if these 2 points loop around. Oh, hi! I'm sorry, did I interrupt something? Apparently I did. Okay, I heard an animal. Oh. Ghoul's tongue! Hey, this looks like what we were looking for. Great! We've got what we need. We can get out of here. Alright. It's great, because I'm hearing doors everywhere and they have me concerned. I do wonder what's up here, though. Can I get up here? Let me push my face against this wall until I start climbing it. Come on, you can do it. There we go. No. Not yet. Hi. I feel like maybe I shouldn't be here. Like, this is a terrible place to be killing the people, because, like, there's healers and monks and stuff. And it's like, am I the bad guy? It is a temple. Oh, hi. Ow. You should just learn about stealth. Ow. A potion of resist shock. Okay. Oh, shoot. You know what I didn't do? At least I'm pretty sure I didn't. Your dude looks kind of like Czarface. Not familiar with that one, SG. Yeah. I do kind of wish that I had something besides glowing yellow eyes. But, you know, not a whole lot of pixels to work with, I guess. Yeah, let's go with that. I'm gonna have to be careful because, I don't think I have a teleport anchor. What? What are you doing way back there? It's like, where'd you come from? I can't carry anymore. Okay. Time to go, I guess. So it's like a rap music group with heavy comic book sort of influence in their art. Okay. I generally don't listen to rap. It's not a genre of music that I like. So I would not be familiar with them. I'm hearing banging. I'm just gonna follow the corpses until I make my way to the exit. I think now's a good time to exit. Ow. Yeah, this is a good time to exit. Okay. Spent too much time in record stores? Oh man. I remember when there were record stores. And they sold records. And cassettes. They hadn't quite gotten to CDs yet. Okay, time to see if I did a smart or if I did a dumb. I did a smart! Yay! I can't cast that again yet. So I sort of also did a dumb. Gosh, I hope I remember to cast that again. I suppose this will do. Couldn't you have brought back a fresher sample? The quality of guild members just isn't what it used to be. Well, here's your finder's fee. Do you want me to shove this tongue somewhere loathsome? Give me my money. You jerk. What time is it? I'm gonna go find a place in town to have something to drink. And then I'm gonna sell all my stuff. Hi, alcohol, please. Let's have some mead. Can I have food with that too? You're not hungry. Cool. Well, then just give me a room for the night. Oh, yay! We leveled up. Thank goodness. Okay, 1 point to speed. And then where shall we put the other 5? Don't tell HG, but you think your vinyl collection is way cooler than her game collection? I don't even know. We do... Oh my gosh, do we? I don't know if we still have a collection of vinyl. You DM'd me something in Discord? Oh. Okay, yeah. There you go. Exclamation point Discord if you do want to join our Discord server. One second, replying to something here. Yeah, I normally don't pay attention to to Discord during stream, but normally I can't hear it. But yeah. Oh, nice. Very big and beefy. You still do traditional art because you don't have a PC to do digital art. I'm gonna be honest. Go with if you're really serious on doing digital art, you're going to want to go in some sort of tablet direction. Really just for the convenience of having an eraser that isn't going to tear your paper up or leave, like, marks, I guess. It's easier to tweak, just in my personal experience. You could find like, if you don't have the funds to go with, like, the latest and greatest, like an iPad or just even an Android tablet, something with a stylus, like with a pencil. Not with just like a regular touch stylus, but like something that can actually detect pressure and stuff. iPad is really good because of the Apple Pencil. There is the Apple tax, of course, but just the base iPad, because that's what I got. I just got like a regular iPad. I have a 6th generation iPad and an Apple Pencil. And really, that's good enough. You get something like Affinity Photo or Procreate. Somebody gifted you a Huon tablet. You don't have a computer to connect it to. Do you need one? Like, just to, like, download apps for drawing and stuff? Because I'm kind of way out of the Android art system, so I'm not really sure what, like, the Google Play Store is like or anything like that. Or is a Huon... Oh, wait. That's, Oh. That's like a traditional PC tablet, right? Because I think I had something from Aldi's, and then I got myself a... Shoot, what is it called? Wacom tablet, just a really basic one. Like, it was just $100. You've been, it's what you've been told to have in order to use it. Okay, all right. So yeah, if it's something like that, does it have a display on it, or is it just like a tablet? It only detects pressure and like where you're touching and stuff. because I'm not familiar with that particular brand. For just like PC tablets, the only one that I am familiar with is Wacom. And I know that there are many more brands out there. There's a lot more competition to Wacom these days. Let's be big and beefy. We all knew I was gonna do that. Why did I sit here and consider it? What time is it? I need 11 hours before I can go back to the Mages Guild. So, we might as well practice some stuff. Alteration. Okay, we're good there. Mysticism. We need 19 of that. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And then we'll dump the rest of that into restoration. That's fine. Okay. Take a nap. Take a nap. Inspiroi 8640p battery-free pen tablet. Hey, they stuck me in a closet! Oh well, it's a big enough closet I fit. Still, kind of rude. 9. Nope, not that. Nope. That. 2 hours. 2-hour nap. Okay, now we're good. Hello? I don't want to go up there. Oh, we gotta go downstairs. Alright. I want food. The orc hungers. Breakfast is needed. Snack. The orc wants a snack. So today's snack... Oh, I threw away the thing. Shoot. Hang on. I meant to keep that here so I could read it. So today's snack is a protein bar, cookies and cream, from Bear Bells. It's relatively balanced in terms of carbs versus protein, so that's kind of why I wanted to keep that. But thank you for the snack, Wolf. I'm muting my microphone so that you don't have to hear mouth noises, but I am making very loud om-noms so that my jaw moves. Okay, my jaw was not moving as much as I thought it would. Okay, that was a little... It's kind of like soft and sticks to your teeth a little bit. I had to get a little bit of water. No, that's not the window I wanted. I opened the wrong thing. Okay, there we go. The inn room reminds you of the old ruckety rooms in the inn in Orsinium at Hrothgar. Kinda. I mean, Hrothgar was... I enjoyed Hrothgar in ESO. But yeah, a lot of the inns there do kind of have that. I used to actually do some roleplay. Now I need some snacks from you. How about a pie? Okay, we have eaten our foods. The orc is sated. But not satiated, because we've already got somebody here who is satiated, and he's a gorilla. So I'm just sated. You love RP so I kind of fell out of it. I used to hang out in the... there's an inn. Oh, gosh. It was all so long ago that, like, the names of the places are just... Yeah, it's like... If you're in the Daggerfall Covenant, it's the second zone. And it's, like, really close to the entrance there. Whatever that inn was called. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was going to back to the Mages Guild. I wanna get a promotion. I wanna be able to make enchanted stuff. Stormhaven? I think that was the zone. So it was a small town by the coast. Oh gosh, it's like as soon as you say it, I'll know what it is. This is gonna bother me now. Okay, let me get my save games here. So let's see, pre-quest. Ooh, wait, hold on. Gotta do something very important. Anchor. Yes! Coeglin Village. Or Coeglin Village, however you pronounce that. So, the tavern there, me and some friends, we used to roleplay all the time there. And as soon as it became instanced, we kind of stopped. And then once housing came out, role-playing just kind of died out. Because we didn't have, like, a consistent spot where we could meet and, like, expect to find roleplay. So it just sort of petered out, which is really unfortunate, because I have some good memories of that. I had some, like, story-type stuff I was gonna do. It is what it is. It's all good, though. I enjoyed the time that I had while time I had. Let's redo our saves here. We want pre-quest. Ongoing quest. And quick save. Can I talk to you? Okay, you're happy to see me. Great, but I don't get a promotion yet. I cannot cast sleep. Shame ESO doesn't have crossplay, you play it on console. Oh, neat. I didn't know that there was a role-playing community on console. Like, do you do text, or do you do, like, voice? How does that work? Oh boy. We need somebody to guard a magical ruby. There's an emerald in it for you. I honestly couldn't care less about the emerald, but sure. Be here at midnight, and this will last until 3. Text along with emotes. Okay. How do you text on console? Well, modern consoles, I imagine you can connect a USB keyboard, right? Is that how that works? Okay. Midnight. There are a lot of narrow halls. This is, like, tactically disadvantageous. But, it's fine. Let's, what time is it now? 13? Alright. Loiter. So 13, 18, 19. Being the poor classman, you just use your controller. Fallen Jin, thank you for donating that crone. That will help make a humble meal for a small orcish child in need. Every crone counts towards helping orcs that are hungry or in need of clothing. It's not midnight yet, is it? No, 19. 5 hours? I'll go ahead and do a quick save, though. You needed to be at 420. Fair. I think 5 hours is what I'm going to do. Hi! Looky here, boys, a guard. Gee, I'm all scared and shaking. Let's leave the tongue on the door as a warning not to mess with the Thieves Guild. Get him! Wait, what tongue? The tongue that like the ghoul's tongue that I just got? You don't mean my tongue. I'm certain you don't mean my tongue. Let's see. You're told crossplay is impossible to the store. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Excuse me. Wah! Oh, there's a lot of you. Look, boys, gentlemen. You don't need to come at me all at once. I don't remember, like, how many times they will do that. Like, how many thieves will actually come in. Yeah, it would be nice. Oh no, I feel bad. Oh, bad. Oh, bad. Oh, my endurance. Okay, one point of endurance damage is not terrible. I do not have a lot of magicka. Oh, and it's... Ooh, it's pulsing a lot. Okay. This was poison, right? This is why I saved. This could actually be fatal. Okay, it is poison. Alright. I'll give it a little bit just to see... Actually, you know what? No. We're just gonna go for it. Cool. I don't have any more magic to cure that, so I hope it goes away on its own. Hey guys, can anyone cast Cure Poison? Anyone? No? Great. Well, I guess we'll be doing a little bit of time travel with our quick save. That's... oh boy. Yep. It was not gonna stop. Well. That went poorly. Let's try again. Oh, hello. Ow. You grunted me. Okay, now the question is... okay, it says I'm healthy. So far, so good. Let's see. It's 124. Okay. Cool. We are good. Well done, Niagara. Those thieves didn't stand a chance against you. Here, take this emerald. It's really the least we can do. It is literally the least you could do. Oh yeah, I was gonna sell a bunch of stuff before I did more guild stuff, wasn't I? Whoops. Oh well, this is fine. Yeah. We will go have another nap. I think I need to I think I need to go and pay for another night though. Oop, sorry, bumped my mouse there. Oh, by the way, Fragonus, we actually do have a mod where Orsinium is populated by orcs. I might have to go back there sometime, but if you do want to check that out, I do have a YouTube channel, Orcish Fiddler, and then the VODs are all uploaded up there. Food. Stew. Nom 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 nom. Room. One, please. Bye. There we go. We feel better. My door's still open. I feel like sleeping with the door open is a terrible idea, considering I just got attacked by thieves. Alright. Right over here. Gotta head off. No worries, Wolf. Thank you for stopping in, and thank you very much for the congratulations. And thank you for being here, for being a part of my journey up towards affiliate. I do hope you have a good night's sleep with lots of pleasant dreams, and we will catch you later. Take care. Which one do I want to go to? This one, I guess. Hi. How many selly things do I gotta do? 21. Alright. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have a hug command. I'll put it on my list of things to do. Exclamation point hug. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff, but still figuring a lot of things out. Let's see. Sell. Wagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Did I say 21 was needed? Okay, there we go. Just sell the rest in a batch. I hope none of this is like actually legitimately valuable. But I think it's just mostly iron and steel with the occasional bit of elven and or dwarven. Now, do you got anything good? Nope. No. I've already got better boots than that. Can I help you? Both? Okay. It's like, you guys never seen an orc walk out of an armor shop? I can talk today. A dwarven tower shield. That's not bad. Unfortunately, I don't wield shields at the moment. Ooh, a mithril short sword. So we can get mithril now. Oh, that's right. We just leveled up. So we just unlocked mithril. Wait, what level are we? 6. Okay. Mithril unlocks at 6, I guess. So, nice. We gotta keep an eye out for the blue goodies. I'm pretty sure that there's more stuff to sell. I'll put it in here for now. Alright. Let's see. Down this way a little bit. The essential physics should be able to purchase our ingredients. I do appreciate like Morrowind and Onward making alchemy so that it's a little bit more accessible. Oops. Yeah, this guy needs a sign. Hi. I have so many things to sell you. I'm not gonna sell the emerald though. I might enchant the emerald. That's not too bad. And then let's see, I think a clothing store is where I want to go next. Equipment. I guess the used supply store will work. This building right here. ES2 Daggerfall takes place in High Rock, no doubt, but do the regions like Glenumbra, Stormhaven, Rivenspire, and Bankorai exist there? So we take a look at the map. Not this one. Okay. Give me 1 second to get to the map. So, Glenumbra is, I want to say, like this whole region, if I'm remembering correctly. Wayrest is like right there. There's a lot of like smaller counties. None of these are. Oh, there's Glenumbra Moors. But then we've got like Daggerfall here, Glenpoint. So you could say that all of Glenumbra... So, if you look at this map, you kind of want to rotate it. Because what it says is north is not actually north. It's more... This is the southern coast of Glenumbra right here. Because this is the Iliac Bay. So we've got Alakir here. We've got Glenumbra here. Somewhere around over here is going to be the Wayrest area. We do have Wayrest right here. So I want to say Bankorai is... Was this Bankorai? Oh, Rivenspire. Yeah. Rivenspire and Bankorai is there. Yeah, I think Rivenspire is going to be more off in this direction. And then I think... I want to say Bankorai. Yeah, right around here. Dragontail Mountains, Tombatu. Sadakalam, Mornoth, Gavaldon. Wait. They sure picked some names. Gavaldon is like, we played, excuse me. We played, Bastard Bonds before we came over to Daggerfall. And a Gavaldon is one of the creature types that is sort of like a werewolf, but only stuck in between and not able to transform between one form and the other. And I saw that, I was like, huh. And then there's Rosanium. So yeah. So in terms of like the land masses are here. It's just that the borders, excuse me, the borders are, they're broken up a little bit differently compared to ESO, I want to say. Excuse me. There's, gosh, hundreds of years between ESO and Daggerfall. So that's plenty of time for, like, these borders to shift and change. I want to see if there's any goodies. Nope. 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 No. That is iron. No, I wasn't expecting there to be anything, but that's fine. These shops tend to have a lower chance of actually having the better goods, but it's always worth checking. Up until May of last year, there wasn't a sure path/road from the Alakir Desert to Bankarai until they gave us a free house as a daily reward that is practically an oasis that connects them both. Yeah. Even like if you look at Bankarai, like it's split between north and south until you complete a quest, which is really annoying. I don't know if they fixed that, but I know that you can buy a house. Once you've got the house, you don't have to worry about it anymore. I actually have a house in southern Bankarai so that I can just teleport there and get the waypoints, or way shrines. Let's see, did we finish Sword Saint's Redoubt? My brain is just blanking on it for some reason. Remove. Let's remove the books. Actually, let's remove all this. Because I need to organize. Oh, shoot. Well, you know what, that's fine. Potion recipes. Nope. Potion recipes. Then potions. And then books. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, we're good. Where is the bank? Of course! All the way on the north side of town. Because why would they have a convenient bank located in multiple spots across town? I don't know why I dodged, like sidestepped him. Like I just passed right through him. And why are there two banks? Why are there two banks right next to each other? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. It's fine, though. It's fine. Pardon me, I would like to do some banking, but one moment while I take it all out of my wagon. That's spells, not wagon. Oh, never mind. I can't carry it all. So, I do want to have a little bit of pocket change on hand, so we will deposit 82,000. And then withdraw a letter of credit for 82,000. You don't have that much in your account? Digital Corgi, welcome in and thank you for redeeming story time. Let me go ahead and finish my banking here. Let's see, 1% fee. I need to deposit 820. 82,000. Did I do the math right? Yes. Okay. There we go. So that's much lighter. All right, let's go ahead and save. All right. So, as I mentioned at the start of stream, when somebody redeems story time, we will be reading a story. Let me go ahead and bring... I do have something I want to launch. Have a nice cozy fireplace. Okay, and then I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit. We'll go to this scene. And then, let's see, we'll take this off. In the front. Grab my book. Alright. Does that look alright? Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, so I haven't been able to find like the perfect animations or things. I'm just sort of staring ahead with my neck craned down. Still kind of working on it, but let's hear a story. So before we get started, there are some things I do want to note. This story is a draft. That means it won't be flawless. It may not even be good, and it might be cringe in spots. We'll find out together. Handsome Morse. Thank you. The settings, mechanics, culture, history, and lore is not going to accurately reflect the current world building that I've got, so we shouldn't consider this canon. Be cringe and be free. I'm gonna be whatever I'm gonna be. Another thing, if this feels a bit like a TTRPG campaign in spots, it kind of is. So I crafted a rough solo D20 campaign to use as a vehicle for story writing to shake the variables up a bit when I was putting this together. So this is essentially like a 5th edition homebrew in spots, especially for things like combat. Weekly segments here are going to vary in length from 2,000 to 5,000 words. I do aim to keep each segment around 2,500 words on average, which I hope results in around 15 minutes of story time, give or take, just so that you know how much time to expect this. If you miss a segment, the VODs will be posted both here on Twitch for a limited time and on YouTube if you search for the Orcish Fiddler channel. In the end, this is just something that I did for fun back in 2024, and I hope you enjoy. So let us start with the first section, for the Artifacts of Argent Isle. Fraser fussed with his clothing as he examined the silvered mirror before him for any unacceptable flaws. His russet hair was neatly groomed, his clothing fresh and stylish, and the brooch that secured his school's uniform mantle prominently displayed his association with the Kragenhaven Arcane Academy. This was no ordinary tea his mother had invited him to, but an opportunity to gain experience under the tutelage of an arcanist well versed in his elements. "You look fine, my lovely," his mother chided, patting his shoulder with a closed fan. "You're going to make a perfect impression, as you always do." Fraser took a short breath, puffing his cheeks out briefly. "There's so much I could learn out in the ocean with Master Schildstra. I just hope he is willing to take me under his wing." "Just you leave the details to me, my dear." She joined him at his shoulder, checking her own finely wrought appearance and adjusting the set of her chestnut locks slightly. "We are, if nothing else, a family of keen negotiators." A polite knock at the door drew their attention, and one of his mother's servants bowed into the room. "Your guests have arrived, my lady." "Excellent. Let's not keep them waiting." She unfolded her fan with a sharp motion, and the two of them followed the servant down into the hall and down the hall and into the tea room where they commonly received guests. The room was bright, with sunlight filtering through gauze curtains. Tasteful decor of creamy linens, accented by dark polished walnut, lent a fresh and airy feel. Two men stood by the windows outlooking the sea, one a Huarim wearing as fine a layer of silks as Fraser and his mother, the other a muscular, roguish Uruk, whose broadcloth breeches and coat were impeccably tailored to enhance his figure. Both men were older, with the Huarim around his mother's age and the Uruk somewhere equivalent for a people that lived more than twice as long. "Welcome to the Rofira home," his mother started, gracefully curtsying to her guests. "You have my deepest thanks for accepting my invitation." "It is an honor, as always." The large Uruk returned the gesture with a deep bow of his own, surprisingly graceful for his size. "You're looking well, Isabella." His mother used her fan to cover her smile with practiced poise. "And you are looking fit and hearty, my friend. Captain Ragnest, Master Schildstra, may I make known my dear son, Fraser Rofira." She gestured to Fraser, who provided a graceful bow of his own. "Fraser, allow me to introduce you to Captain Ragnest of the Storm Rider and his Master of Weather Arcana, Dean Schildstra." "Ah, it has been too long since I last saw you, young lad," the captain said. A broad smile, disrupted only by his tusks, lit his expression. "I wonder if you remember me." Fraser nodded and smiled. "In truth, I remember you well. You are the only Uruk ship captain I know of who does business directly with the family." "Our good captain belongs to a truly exclusive club," his mother noted, giving the big Uruk a wink, who laughed softly in turn. "Please, do sit, gentlemen." Once they had taken their seats, a servant approached to pour tea and serve them. An array of treats, both sweet and savory, were artfully arranged on small plates. Silver tongs set nearby to allow their guests to select whichever caught their eye. "I understand you wish to join our voyage for a while to learn more about your elemental affinity," said the Huarim guest as he served himself a delicate shortbread cookie with a dollop of bright red jam in the middle. "Yes," Fraser replied. "My professors have admitted that I've reached the stage in my journey where a more pragmatic exploration of my water affinity would serve me best." He used a pair of tongs to place a puff pastry flavored with chocha nibs and crystal sugar on his plate. "While looking for potential masters to apprentice under, I happened to notice the name of the Storm Rider and found you were employed by Captain Ragnest." Of course, I would feel most comfortable if my son were in the hands of one with whom I have had business dealings with in the past and knew I could trust, his mother added, looking significantly to the Uruk. I believe you would fill that role quite well, my good friend, Captain. Ragnas tilted his head, assessing Fraser with keen eyes. While I would not expect you to have as much a hand in the labor required to run the ship, your apprenticeship comes under the condition that you are considered crew. You would be expected to use your arcane arts to assist Master Shilstra and ensure our safe and swift passage as we make our circuit around the southern half of Evertania. You will have ample time for study of your element, Dean added, both as you assist me and during your personal time. And I imagine I have many experiences to share that will broaden and enhance your expertise with water arts. To say that you will be outside of your comfort zone may be an understatement, however. Ragnast glanced briefly at Fraser's plate. There will be hard work, but it is rewarding work, if that is your goal. I've done some research on what to expect, Fraser replied. While I admit there is some trepidation about the idea of cramped quarters, travel provisions, and other logistics of extended time out at sea, I know that I will never grow if I do not seek these challenges and aim to conquer them. Well said. The Uruk gave a satisfied nod, then looked to Fraser's mother as he placed 2 finger sandwiches on his plate. And what of your thoughts on this matter? He is, after all, your only inheritor of the estate and business, is he not? He is, said Isabella, placing 3 tiny delicate layer cakes, each decorated with an edible nacreous sugar pearl on her plate. But I trust you would keep him as safe as though he were your own kin. Ragnast's gaze was locked onto the 3 cakes in front of Fraser's mother, hands folded neatly in front of him, expression thoughtful. My crew are my family, he noted quietly. Kin safeguards kin. Indeed. After a few more moments of quietly looking at the table, Ragnast nodded mutely, then looked to Fraser. Then, if you would like to join, we would welcome you aboard as an apprentice to Master Shilstra. Fraser's expression lit with joy, and he had to carefully restrain himself from standing and whooping. It would be my honor, Captain Ragnast, Master Shilstra. A sense of pressure lifted from the table as headway was made. Then next we need only discuss the length of tenure. The Uruk looked to Isabella. Would a year be adequate? I believe that would be more than fair, the woman replied smoothly, and we can renegotiate next year if he would benefit from further tutelage and wishes to pursue his education further. Of course. Well, we should enjoy our tea then, now that is settled. Fraser's mother brightly smiled, then took the tongs to place upon the captain's plate a delicate miniature cheesecake with a crystallized fruit on top. Here, my good friend, you surely can't go on in life without something sweet to enjoy. Try this. I'm certain you'll like how well it pairs with the tea. The Uruk raised his brow slightly, but couldn't suppress a slight smile. I've no doubt. Conversation drifted onto more casual topics from there, with Master Shilstra probing Fraser on his studies and experiences to better acquaint himself with what he could do and what lessons they could plan. Captain Ragnast, meanwhile, caught up with Fraser's mother on more business-like affairs and endeavors, securing additional agreements not related to Fraser's tutelage. As they parted ways, they agreed that 4 days was adequate time for them to finish their business at port and for Fraser to prepare and join them. Interestingly, the topic of compensation was never broached, but Fraser had a hunch there was something more subtle going on that he had missed. He asked his mother about it later, when they were in his room together to consider his luggage, and she gave him a sly wink as she tapped the temple of her forehead with her fan. My dear, someday I will teach you all of my most subtle conversational graces, but for now, let me ask you this. Did you notice anything in particular about the tea arrangement as we were talking? Fraser pondered a moment. I did notice he seemed very intent on your plate. Or perhaps what was on it? He snapped his fingers. Ah, the cakes. Were you speaking through pastries? His mother's smile was warm and bright as she fanned herself. That's my boy. Yes, while Uruk are often direct with their negotiations in informal settings, some topics are considered distasteful in formal settings. As this was a formal invitation, discussing how much I was willing to pay for your tuition and protection would not have been appropriate. Fraser nodded. So he put 2 sandwiches on his plate, and you put 3 cakes on yours? What does that mean? Isabella continued to fan herself. I made an offer he couldn't refuse. I see. He decided probing further into the details would not lead to a more specific answer. Then, remembering something, he asked, what about the cake you put on his plate? I'm sure that had a message as well. His mother playfully swatted Fraser with her fan. My dear boy, I know you have an eye for attractive men as much as I do. I think you can guess what that message was. Fraser felt heat rise to his face as his mother melodically laughed. I believe I shall continue to sort my luggage and not inquire further. That would be a most productive use of your time, she agreed. I should assess my own wardrobe now that we are on the topic. She excused herself out of the door with a sweep of silks. Fraser wondered if his mother had something special she planned to wear for her evening guest before he set that thought firmly aside and turned to consider his own wardrobe for the journey ahead. That evening, as Fraser finished packing his clothes and was reviewing which of his many books to take with him on the journey, he was surprised by a firm knock at his door. Opening it revealed his mother enrobed in a dressing gown, and the captain. Both wore tense expressions. Is everything all right? Fraser asked. There's been an unexpected development, his mother began. I'm afraid we need to weigh anchor at first light, Captain Ragnast added. Once we're underway, I can explain further, but if you still wish to join us aboard, you'll need to come with me now. Are you packed? Yes? Fraser glanced behind him, flustered at the need to pivot so swiftly. I just need to grab a couple more things. Good. Let's not burn any more oil talking then. With all due haste, Fraser grabbed his journals and study materials, a couple of books for research and leisure, threw them into an open satchel, and shouldered it. He reached for his luggage, but Ragnest did him the courtesy of carrying it for him with a strong arm. My apologies about the need for haste, he said, as much to his mother as to Fraser while they made rapid strides toward the main entry. Isabella especially, my deepest apologies. I'm sure you wish to bid your son a proper farewell. Isabella shook her head, clutching at her robes as slippered feet padded down the polished stone hall. No, I understand the need to act quickly when a storm is brewing, be it literally or figuratively. Please, take care of yourself and my son. When you next return to port, we can talk. Of course. Once at the door, his mother gave Fraser a firm, perfume-wrapped embrace. My dear boy, do be sure to listen to your elders and work hard. I know you'll do me proud. I will, Mother. I love you. He returned the embrace. I love you too, my son. She released him, smiling softly. Now then, be off, the both of you. Until we meet next, Isabella. The tall Uruk bowed and gestured for Fraser to precede him. Then both men stepped out into the evening air where a carriage awaited. To the docks, he directed of the driver. Then, as the two men took their seats and the carriage started off, he leaned forward to speak in low tones to Fraser. Excuse me. Were you able to pack the bare necessities at least? He inquired politely. Fraser nodded. I think so. I was overthinking some of it anyway, so this may be for the best. Still, I can't help thinking that perhaps I forgot something. Captain Ragnest chuckled. I get that feeling almost every time we pull out of port. There will be opportunity to buy something you might need somewhere along the route, though. Did you bring coin? I did. He patted his satchel. Good. Of course, your mother has paid for your travel expenses, and being a member of crew means you're entitled to compensation. Excuse me. You're entitled to compensation based on the work you put in, but as an apprentice to Dean, those wages will depend on the duties he has you perform. We haven't had time to review the details together with our ship's steward and purser to agree a price. I understand. I'm largely in this for the learning opportunities, of course, but earning an allowance will be helpful too. I appreciate your understanding here. The Uruk gave a slight bow in his seat. Then, in a lower voice, I ask that you hold any questions that you have for the moment. He glanced significantly in the direction of the driver. Fraser nodded once again. Of course. Had this been any other man, he might have felt nervous or suspicious. However, Captain Ragnast and the Rafira businesses had had a close association, and his mother trusted him implicitly, both as a business partner and otherwise, based on the subtext of the tea party earlier that day. As they rode in silence, he couldn't help but notice the Uruk's behavior thus far had been kindly, almost fatherly towards him. His actual father was no longer present. Not through any great tragedy or mishap. His parents had simply fallen out of love, chosen amiably to separate, and remain business partners for a time before business took his father elsewhere. Truth be told, they had made far better business partners than they did lovers. The home they made for Fraser had been filled with love at all times, and there was no bitterness to taint it. But it was clear the love for each other had faded like a painting left in the sun. Still a fine work of art, but neglected in its way until it was no longer what it once was. It wasn't long before they reached the docks. Ragnast directed the driver to the Storm Rider, paid him, and helped Fraser board. For right now, let's bring your stuff into my cabin. I'll be meeting with my deck crew there, so it's a good opportunity for you to meet the folk you'll be working with. A number of crew were already there, including Master Shilstra, and a young woman seated beside him whose facial features were obscured in a long, heavy, dark cloak and cowl that seemed stylishly discordant with the fine cream-color robes underneath them. Most of the deck crew were standing, and those that weren't stood upon the captain's entry. Ah, good. Everyone I need is here. Ragnast leaned against the large table with a map and various navigation tools scattered on it. Crew, this here is Fraser Rofira. He'll be joining us as an apprentice under Dean to study water arcana. Then he gestured to each of his crew present, naming them off in rapid succession. Lungruk was an older Uruk man, weather-worn, gray hair balding, and ready for retirement, as he served as the captain's chief mate. Ulwayan, an Ashland woman with a no-nonsense demeanor and platinum blonde hair tied behind her, served as his second mate. Kroner, a red-scaled Arakan man with a number of stars crisscrossing his leathery hide, served as his third mate. Ozar, another roguish Uruk that stood shorter and stockier than the captain, served as the ship's deck boss or bosun. Finally, this is Braxton Grolj, he said, gesturing to the tallest and most muscular Uruk man Fraser had ever seen. With a rugged face, shaved head, and long but well-kept beard, he was an intimidating sight. He's one of my tenured able seamen, and training to take third mate when Lungruk retires and everyone else moves up the ladder. Call me Brax, the Uruk said in a deep, quiet rumble. A sharp and penetrating silver gaze caught Fraser's eyes as the mage offered him a polite nod in acknowledgement. And of course you've already met Master Shilstra, Ragnast finished. I'll introduce our other new arrival more formally once we've set sail. To that end, who are we missing? All crew accounted for with the exception of one Edgard Lothair, said Brax. Huarim, male, mid-20s, short hair that's colored and styled like a haystack. Ulwayan cast a keen gaze toward the large Uruk. That's the one. Word is he left with a lady escort, rummied up to his knees. Brax wobbled about, demonstrating the drunken state he described. I lost his trail after he left the Eagle and Boar. Kroner flicked his reptilian tail into state. Some of our lads can't wait to blow off some steam, eh? Ragnash shook his head. It's only natural. At least you were able to round everyone else up that was out and about. Good job, Brax. The Uruk closed his fist over his heart and bowed his head slightly, an Uruk salute of sorts. Thank you, sir. What you want done about the boy? Ozar's accent was thick and unfamiliar to Fraser. The captain struck a thoughtful pose for a moment. Ozar, go wake Gerval and get Edgard's rucksack and pay chit ready, in case he's not aboard before first light. We'll have to leave it and him behind and pick him back up when we're back at this port. The port master will let him know what's going on. Excuse me. Using more of my throat than I expected. Ozar gave a quick, less formal salute. Sir, with a nod from the captain, the deck boss went to execute the order. Kroner furrowed his brow, quietly counting on his knuckles. I'm missing chat. The description of a relationship is really good. Thank you, Val. Reppin, hey, welcome in. You've been so busy for over a week now with the move. I totally get that. And work, basically have had zero time for anything, but wanted to come by for a first and full stream and say congrats. Thank you so much, Reppin. Gotta earn some kron. Indeed, indeed. We gotta earn some kron. There's a lot of things to spend it on. But welcome in, Reppin. I hope you're able to get back to something a little bit more calm soon. Alright. With a nod from the captain, the deck boss went to execute the order. Kroner furrowed his brow, quietly counting on his knuckles. 10 deck crew plus 28 if Edgard doesn't make it back. Our new mage friend and our mystery guest. He winced. Bad omen, boss. Omen? Fraser spoke up for the first time, curious. The number 40 is bad luck to anyone from Corsica, the draconic fellow explained. Firezig 40 in Vertani, which is pronounced the same Firezig death in Coritanco. You'll keep our Corsican seamen calmed when it comes to superstition, I trust? Asked Uwayan. As far as most of the crew will be concerned, we will have at most 39 people aboard, Ragnast interrupted. He gestured to the cowled figure. It is not yet the time to explain, but I would prefer if our guest remained anonymous and in seclusion from the crew. She'll be staying in my quarters with me and Fraser. Dean waved a hand, now wearing more sturdy clothing appropriate for work instead of his dress robes. And you needn't worry, my dear. We'll set up a partition so you can have some privacy. We're both gentlemen here, are we not? Fraser nodded as the mage turned his gaze to him for confirmation. Of course, my hope is that we can all have a safe and comfortable voyage together. The hood barely hid a relieved smile as she bowed her head, but she did not verbally respond. Let's get as ready as we can before first light, Ragnast decided. Kroner, Brax, you gents are night watch anyway, you know what to do. The rest of you, get some rest, stay on board, and talk to no one. I'll fill you in on the mystery once we're in open water and assembled for the morning brief. Dismissed. Oh, and Fraser, he added. Welcome to the Storm Rider. Thank you, sir, the elementalist replied, bowing. As the crew dispersed, Dean and the mysterious hooded woman joined Fraser by the table. I'll show you both to our quarters so you can get settled in. I imagine you both are used to daylight hours and must be getting tired by now. He had to admit, sleep sounded pretty good, though it warred with the excitement of so much activity going on. He grabbed his luggage and followed the older mage down a set of stairs to a room under the captain's quarters. It was modest in size for one person, and while 3 people would not be uncomfortable, it was close enough quarters that a partition for their lady guest would be appropriate. Checking chat. Outside of actually visiting Corgi on Saturday, the first social thing you've been able to do. Aw, Reppin. Well, thank you for popping in. I do appreciate it. I see you got a lurk and run. And yeah, be sure to check the VOD. It'll be on Twitch and on my Orcish Fiddler channel in YouTube if you want to check out anything that you missed. But I hope you're able to get back to a regular schedule soon. Soon after they stepped in, there was a knock on the large door, which was filled with the bulky frame of the Uruk Brax. Brought some bedding for your berths, he said, arms filled with folded cloth. Ah, thank you, Brax. Dean reached up and unlatched a fold-down berth. We'll just move my dressing partition over here, my dear, and there we are, your own private corner of the ship. He gave the woman a bright smile. The woman gave him a slight bow, then accepted the bedding from Brax before quietly wrapping herself in both blanket and cloak and laying down on the berth. Fraser, meanwhile, was setting up his own section of the room. We'll get you settled in proper once we've got a minute, but I hope you'll be able to rest for now. Dean tidied up his own arrangements as the big Uruk left them to it. Will I be starting work right away in the morning? Fraser asked as he sat upon his berth and unclasped his mantle. No, after the morning brief, I'll just have you shadow me for a while so you can see what my duties are. We'll discuss ways you can contribute productively to the ship's smooth function then. The mage kicked his shoes off, then gestured with a hand to conjure an effervescent globe of water, which spiraled around him and his clothing, refreshing them before he hung them up on hangers nearby. Fraser finished undressing, refreshing his own skin and clothing with a similar cleansing water art. While not as relaxing as a hot bath, he had a feeling such field showers would prove exceptionally useful in maintaining some level of cleanliness while at sea, and he wondered how the rest of the crew would manage. Would one of his jobs entail using this elementary art on all 40 members of the crew? The possibilities of how he could use water arcana to make everyone's lives brighter and easier bubbled in his mind as he drifted off to sleep, lulled by the gentle motion of the ship. And that concludes part 1. So there are 30 parts, 30 breakdowns, and they're all, I can't actually remember how many words that first part is, but they're all roughly that long, probably. Let's grab my gaming console here, get turned back around, and come back over to this. Alright, well, yeah, that was part 1, and I'm not used to using my voice that much. We'll go ahead and turn off the fireplace sound. Go ahead and bring the music back up here. Alright. Well, thank you, Corgi, for redeeming story time. I hope that it's enticed you. Worth the 800? Good. I'm glad to hear it. We'll have to see what happens on the next phase of our journey next week. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of stream, because it does take quite a bit of time, it is, and it does use my voice a lot, it is limited to once per stream, which means if you want to know what happens next, you got to tune in next week. You got to redeem the crone. Now, back to the story of whatever we're doing here. Let's see. I want to say maybe 30 reputation is when I get to do what I need to do. I gotta go all the way back down south. Oh my goodness. Now, in terms of, like, one of the things I'm not really 100% sure about for doing story time is, like, should I find music? Because I would have to, like, mute the game. I'd have to figure out how to mute the game if it came to that. Which isn't hard, like, I could just turn the music off and that would be all I have to do. But what I launched there, let me find it again here. There's an app called, or a game called Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions. And it does have, like, music playlists. I don't know that they're, like, copyright tagged, but I don't actually know for certain. I'd have to kind of experiment with that. You wish you could bring music from the old games into ESO. There's some, like, remixes. Like, if you listen to some Daggerfall stuff, and, like, Morrowind and Oblivion, there are definite inspirations in the music that's in ESO versus music that's in older games. Ages Guild, there we are. Okay, now we already have a teleport, so we're good to go there. So, pre-quest. Ongoing quest. And quick save. Alright, let's get another quest. I cannot cast this spell. Guard a magical short shirt. Oh boy, we get to do another guard quest. Alright, yeah, we'll do it. You was looking forward to hearing the OST of Skyrim in the Greymoor expansion, but no. Yeah, they weren't going to directly do that, but which I understand. They want to kind of make something that's going to be kind of fresh. Eldork Scrolls 2? Yes indeed. Eros, welcome in. How you doing today? I hope you're doing well. We are... you just missed story time. So, if you were looking forward to that, you'll have to check the VOD. Excuse me. Oh, something I should probably mention. So, I do use different names for different species. They're kind of adjacent. So, the Huarim, and I'll spell this out for you in chat, are basically human adjacent. The Uruk are orc adjacent. The Ashling are elf adjacent. And the Irakan are basically dragonborn adjacent. So that's how those are spelled. You got to hear the OST from Morrowind in Vardenfell, though. I'd have to take a... I didn't spend a whole lot of time in Vardenfell in ESO. So I would have to take another listen to that. Honestly, I ought to download it all. I've only got the OST from, like, the original before any of the patches. Or before any of the chapters. But yeah. So Eros, if you are looking for a little bit of story time, I will be posting the VOD on Twitch, but that's for a limited time. If you look for Orcish Fiddler on YouTube, you should be able to find my channel, and I do post the VODs there. Generally the day after I stream. Provided, like, I don't forget. I'm usually pretty good about that, though. Alright. What are we doing? Oh yeah, we're safeguarding this place, so we need to... Okay, it's 13:10. You'll hit up the VOD on YouTube. Sounds good. Not transportation. Oh my gosh, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. Okay. We'll just do 6 hours. Alright, that puts us at 1912. Alright, let's do... another 6 hours. Hi. Ow. Looky here, boys, a guard. Gee, I'm all scared and shaking. You people with your fascination with tongues. Ow. Could you not be around our enchanter? Because, like, oh, that hurt. A dwarven warhammer. I already have one. That would be great if it were mithril. Wait, what? Oh, or... That's my blood! How much is my blood worth? Worth 20 gold? For a quarter kilogram of blood? How many pints is that? I could make a killing with some healing spells. Did we get them all? Oh, nope. Okay, hi. Ow. Oh, no. I've been poisoned. This... Oh, no. Oh, no. This could be bad. Oh, it's pulsing pretty quick, too. No, actually, no. It's about the... where it normally pulses. What am I losing? Is it done? Oh, okay. Cool. It's done. All right, that poison wasn't as scary. That wasn't as scary. That's not as bad. I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm alive. No, not that. Loiter. 3 hours. Cool. We are good. Did I strip your corpse? I did. All right, cool. You know, didn't we guard a ruby last time? So it's like, here's the ruby we had you guard last time. Thanks for protecting this shirt. I don't know. Either way, we got a thing. And we didn't die. That is the very important part. We didn't die. Alright, let's get another quest. Rather embarrassing, but one of our experiments has prematurely evacuated our laboratory. Even worse, it left before it was fed, so it's doubtless going to be ill-tempered. Thankfully, it is a disposable creature, a common Atronach. On the other hand, we certainly do not need our reputation sullied by a Madden Atronach's rampage. If you'd be willing to track the sad beast down and put it out of its 7-hour misery, we could offer you, say, 440 gold in return. Interested? Sure. You will. Death be damned. What a relief. The miserable creature has apparently taken up residence in a nasty little hole they call Tricerac's Web. For our reputation's sake, it is essential that this be done quickly and quietly. So if you're not able to dispatch the Atronach in 7 days, don't bother coming back for your reward. Good day. Cool. We get to kill an Atronach. We don't know what kind. Where do we have to go? Trice. Oh, it's 2 days travel to get there. Oh, that's gonna be fun. In which direction? No. Am I up? Alright, so it's off to the east. So I need to go this way. I just wanna... Oh, it's nighttime. I'm not gonna be able to go through the gates. Shoot. This is fine. I can climb. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. What have I learned about running today? Left, right, left, right. Up, down, left, right, B, A, start. Oh shit, I tripped over my feet. Ow, ouch! Running through the streets at night. With a horse quietly chirping. Oh look, it's time for my other pills. Satiated Guria is not a fan of the horse that's chirping right now at night. It's very loud. I should probably save and just in case. Okay. Hello? Hello? There we go. Whee! Okay. Well, let us save. Oops, not that. Let's get on our cricket. And let's travel. As soon as we remember where we have to travel to. Player controlled, 7 hours, begin. Away we ride through the night. Enemies in the darkness seek to prevent your travel. Oh god, a zombie! Oh, bad, 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 bad. No, 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 no. Oh, no, no, okay. Jeez. I can take one more hit. I think. Okay, that was one more hit. Mend wounds. Ow. Ow! Okay, mend faster. Zombies mean business. They are mean business. Back on our 2-hour cricket. And continue our journey. Large feathers lie scattered about. You almost gag on a foul stench. Okay. Oh. Okay. Where's the door? Of course. Hello, would anybody like to buy Orc Scout cookies? Oh. Oh. What'd you all do? Pack up and leave? Oh, there you are. Yeah. Yes, I know I see a thief. I hit the wrong button. Ooh, Dwarven Greaves. I'm stealing your pants. They are mine. I'm sure they fit my mighty thews just fine. Hi. Would either of you like to buy Orc Scout cookies? Okay, no need to be aggressive about it. You can just say no. Yeesh. Oh, it's a silver tattoo. Okay, and an elven longsword. Yeah, we're starting to get some good stuff. Oh. Oh. No. Well, that's fine. Whee! Watch out for that tree! Well, that was fun. Put this away, get back on our cricket, and continue our journey. Okay, well, time to reload. Actually, no, I don't have to reload. I should be able to do this. It does unfortunately waste time. But yeah, sometimes the world just fails to support your weight, and into the void you go. Where was I going? Yeah, let's go there. Should I have saved? I probably should have saved. Well, I saved not that far back. It's fine. Ideally, we won't fall through the world again. But on the plus side, it didn't kill us. And what doesn't kill us only makes us stronger. I don't know how falling through a void makes us stronger, but I will roll with it. Oh. No mosquitoes. You push through a huge spider web. What is this place? Triceratops web. Oh boy, there's going to be a lot of spiders, aren't there? I guess it goes without saying by now that, you know, arachnid warning for anybody who is uncomfortable with spiders. We've already run into a couple today, and that's, I mean, that's not really something I can... I wonder if anybody's... That should have been mod. This should be easy enough to mod out, probably. I'll have to look into that. Ongoing. And quick save. Do I have anything I need to? Yes, as a matter of fact. All this stuff needs to be shoved into the wagon. Oh, resist poison. Great. Yeah, let's put my orc's blood on the wagon. Alright, save, ongoing. What? No. Okay, we are hunting an Eternac. And I hear spiders purring. You're not spiders! Oh, jeez, you hit hard. Holy crap. Okay, apparently those were scorpions that were purring. Oh, well, this is not good. Yeah, I'm paralyzed. Paralyzed for a little bit, guys. So my paralysis is not actually a cure for paralysis. It's a little bit more cost-effective in terms of magicka. It is free action, which is equivalent to curing paralysis, provided that the paralysis goes away before the spell ends. I'm probably going to need to make a version of that that extends the length of time. Okay, we're better now. Let's save. Hello? Oh, spiders. Cool. You're probably not as bad. Okay, I made my save. I don't want to go upstairs yet. Oh, that skull scared me. Why do I hear an elephant? Should I be hearing an elephant? I don't want to go down yet. Maybe somebody's blowing their nose. No, a bat. Cool. Die, please. Thank you. Okay. Now that I finished exploring that, where's the elephant coming from? Oh well, it's fine. Okay, up we go. Hi, spider. I heard you pooer. I heard you pooing earlier. Yes, I heard your purring earlier. Slight difference, although it may be similar noise. Secret? No secret. Okay, well, it's fine. You thought I said I heard your coworker earlier? Nope. Yeah, I don't know. Is your coworker a spider? They're just doing their spider paperwork. Oh god. At the dungeon office. Oh god. Okay. Everything's fine. I'm fine. The fax machine is the final boss. Oh. Dude. The fax machine is the final boss. Did I just go around in a... I went around in a circle. Yeah, I think this is the way I wanted to go. Let me... Okay. Just so that I don't get disoriented again, because I clearly got turned around there. Gold. Drop 1. And use... use the gold thing. So that's kind of like a breadcrumb. Okay. I went this way. Okay, I killed all that. Alright, so I have to go this way. I'm hearing something blowing its nose. And I think whatever it was just killed a spider. Cool. That's one less spider I have to deal with. Was I here? Oh, jeez. I'll take that as a no. Oh, going. I'm starting to feel turned around. I'm hearing so many angry animal sounds. And the worst of it is it's all animals and stuff. There's like not going to be any loot. Ow. Yeah, these don't have anything. Hi, spider. I don't want to be paralyzed, so... I already went this way, so... This way! Hi. Hey, I backstabbed it. Well... Can you backstab with a bludgeoning object? Back bludgeon? I gave it a gentle massage. Ow. Oh, good. I didn't have to worry about it. You can if you try hard enough. Okay. I'll just try really, really hard with my hammer to backstab. Let me do a quick... Oh, jeez! That was a bad timing on the save. I should probably use healing. You believe in me, thank you. I appreciate your support. I front stabbed that one. Okay, now we'll save. If anybody doesn't know, Daggerfall dungeons do tend to be labyrinthine. Okay, well, I snuck up on you, but apparently I didn't stab hard enough. Okay, They really shouldn't challenge me to fights. They'd live a lot longer if they didn't. Or, you know, take fewer naps. Have I been here? Oh. Oh, this was the door I was like, I don't want to go this way. Well, I've been this way. Cool. I went around in a circle, and I don't know what I've missed. On the plus side, I can dump things into the wagon. I can dump this handful of plants and leaves in the wagon. Alright, I, better take a nap. Better. I'm not entirely sure where I need to go. Let's see. Oh, this stuff. I haven't finished exploring that. Okay. Yep, there's my breadcrumb. Lets me know where I've been. Or the direction I initially took. Okay. So I have not explored this way. And... hi. There's not even any loot on the floor. Man, this dungeon's cheap. Oh, good. I resisted. Oh, the spider and the scorpion. They didn't like each other. Okay, then. I think, by process of elimination, this is the only way I can go. Oh, goody. Time to, backstab the door with my hammer. Perhaps it is time to reflect on what you have learned about lockpicking. That it's better done with a big hammer? Wait a minute, did I just explore everything and not find what I'm supposed to kill? Okay, hang on. I don't think I took this route. No, I did not. Hi. Are you shy? It's okay, you can hide in there if you want. You look kind of cute. You're just sort of peeking over the edge. Never mind that you're, like, clipping through the lid and everything. It's fine. So you're not so scary. You're even purring at me. Here, let me pet you. Oops, I pet you too hard. I will actually rescue spiders. Like, if they're the cute little hoppy ones, I don't kill those ones. They're cute. And the... oh, okay, I resisted. Yeah, nothing in here. There's also, like, just little small-bodied, long-legged, really slow ones. I let them live, because they just kind of hang out in the corner. They don't do anything except look for bugs and, like, maybe leave little ow! Leave little poop drips or whatever. Heal that. The big fast. Anything here? No. The big fast spiders, though. Those ones do bother me, and they do get squished. Oh, is that loot? Do I get a thing? Gold, a silver broadsword, mummy wrappings, and a long shirt. Yay. Such loot. Hi. Such loot. So valuable. Hi. So where's the Atronak? What have I missed? Wait, let me make sure. Okay, that's just a room. This does not lead anywhere. It looks like it wants to, but it doesn't. You're just a door leading to a room. You are just a hall. You are already explored. And I'm pretty certain that I went this way already, yeah, because there's the dead bat. I went up the stairs. I went up the stairs again. And then I went up the stairs again. And then we went to... It's got maybe somewhere around here. Map, you're not helping. Why am I hearing purring? There must be a level above or something. Yeah, I've been here. Oh, I exited that way. No, I've been here. The door's open. Oh, I haven't been here. Wah! Nope, nope, I don't want to. Nope, 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 nope. Ooh. Oh, okay, well apparently I've been that way. Hi. Whoops, back up a bit, close the door, and wait for the paralysis to end. How are you all doing today? I hope you're doing well. Today's been an interesting day. It's been a fun day, and I'm glad that I've been able to share it with you all. Just wanted to take a moment to tell you that, and to say thanks. Okay, now that my limbs are no longer bound in paralysis, let's continue our journey. A nice cozy fire. And a Spriggan. Spriggan, would you like to warm up by the fire? No? Would you like to be put into the fire? Don't imagine that's very comfortable for you. I don't imagine that's very comfortable for you either. Yikes. What's with the poles in the middle like that? Is it the hallway for pole dancing? Wooden poles seems like an ill choice for pole dancing. Just imagine the splinters. Ouch. You jerk. Okay, good. The paralysis is wearing off first. Oh, God. Okay, that's, moving on. Oh, you must be the Atronak. Hi, I'm gonna save. Since you're stuck there. Do you just, you're just trying your best, huh? You're not trying to make a suggestion with this bed, are you? There's no offense, but, I don't want to be given the cold shoulder. Ow. Oh, geez, you hit hard. You hit hard. Nope, wrong button. Backspace as the button to open the spellbook. Kinda sucks. I would rather die than go back to the Mages Guild laboratory. The life fades from the Atronach's eyes. Oh, well. Oh, it has no treasure. Cool. Well, I granted you your wish, I guess. Okay, so it must be the scorpions that are making that elephant noise. Oh, no, that was bad timing on a save. Ow. Look, let me just, can you take a little bit of a dirt nap, please? Oh, I'm regenerating, so it doesn't matter. You want to come back over here? You're a little too close to the door. I'm a little worried about the physics being silly. There you go. Thanks. Oh, a potion of cure disease. I like that. Okay, I think we're done in here. I honestly think we're done. Hi! The hunter returns. You've saved us some considerable discomfiture with your precipitate amelioration of our Atronach crisis. A first-rate job all around. Accept your gold and my gratitude. Thanks. That's actually not what I want. How much reputation do I need? Let me check something real quick. Hey, Magic Man, can you make me stuff? You are not of sufficient rank to use my services. Hey, Questman, can you make it easier for me to do this? I should probably take a nap before I do this. Did I take my pill? I didn't take my other pill. Whoops! There's my follow-up reminding me, did you take your pill? Let me take care of that. While I'm taking my pill, which requires a bit of water, if you haven't already done so, make sure to stay hydrated. Have a bit to drink. be it water or some other beverage. Wet your throat. Water is life. And can be tasty too. Speaking of tasty stuff, hi. Let us have some chicken. Nom 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 nom. And a place to sleep, please. Let's do a quick practice of restoration with what we got left. And sleep. Cool. What time is it? 5:42. Eh. When do they open? 11? That's like 6 hours. Oh, shoot. You know what? This is fine. No, actually, it's not. Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Where's the guild again? This direction. I know my east from my west. We're going northwest. That'll take us where we gotta go. Now I'm gonna stand here and stare creepily at the door until 11 a.m. I like how the music cut out. Okay, it's almost noon, but, you know, good enough. I'm gonna stand here creepily. Music disappears. Oh, okay. You didn't need to make it actually creepy, game. Let us set a anchor. Let us save. Prequest. Ongoing quest. And quick save. Allow me to be the first to offer my unreserved congratulations on your glorious ascension up the slippery hierarchy that is the Mages Guild. Now that you have achieved the rank of Evoker, you have access to the guild library. That's it. I can remember when I was first deemed worthy of such an honor. My eyes did not leave the printed page for 3 whole days. My advice is take advantage of this as soon as possible. Once again, jolly good show. Hold that thought. Hey, Magic Man. Oh, you're making me do work. You're making me do work, you jerk. Alright. What do you got? I cannot cast this. Let me see something here real quick. Okay, I'm not losing reputation for refusing. That's fine. Doubtless you have heard of the crazed wizard Vanna and Vanna Is Vanana a catabla please? Banana horse. Okay, Miss Banana. Given the enormous power she has at her command, King Edwire has been delaying any offensive move against Banana horse. But that's HD's hand in hand. The king has asked us to send someone to destroy the psychopathic mage in return for a magic Kajitsu. Oh no. Would you do that for us? I have so many questions. so many questions. First and foremost, Banana? Doot 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 doot. Banana. Doot 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 doot. Banana. Doot 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 doot. I was way off key on that. Who names their child that? Second of all, is this king particularly kingly because he's King Edward? And third and perhaps most importantly, what is so magical about this Khajiit suit? It almost implies that it's like a fursuit or something. But unfortunately, a Khajiit suit is more like a skin suit. Like, it's just like it's a black suit that covers your entire body. But how can I say no to a request so elegantly expressed? Excellent. I knew that you would not let us down, Iagra. Now then, Vanana Hartsley will be in our laboratory. The Tower of Mastering for at most 14 days before moving on to a new location. The king wants word that the mage is dead in 14 days, so do not tarry after doing the deed. I will see you in 14 days. Thank you and good luck. Oh, goodness. I'm so... That had me so discombobulated, I ran into the post. I should go sell some stuff before I go and do this quest and stop walking in puddles. Don't want to walk in puddles. They'll make my socks squishy. It is a rare person that enjoys squishy socks. That's all. I have nothing more to say on the matter. What is... Mercantile 22. Alright, so... Hi. Save. Talk. Sell. Wagon. Condition new. Condition almost new. You know what? Hold that thought. We'll go ahead and equip that. Easier for me. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. All good, I can do the rest in a batch. Ah, my trusty warhammer. You have served me well, but a newer and shinier model has reached me. Okay. What are you? You're steel. I don't use blades anyway. Yeah. Meh. Meh. No. Phooey. Oh well. Well, that's that. Off we go. Which direction do we go? Actually, nope. Yes. 24 hours approximately. Or 2 days. Right, let's just do that. Your eyes suddenly sting. You notice a strong, acrid odor. Oops. Burble blub. Why do I always take the scenic route whenever I'm trying to find the door to these things? There we are. Let me use my handy-dandy lockpick. Success. There's nothing in here. What the heck? That is one of the annoying things about Dagger's randomly... Oh, no. Well, okay. Well, I have a solution for this. Whee! Uh-oh. Wee? How do I let go? I want to let go. No, I didn't want to grab that. Okay. Ordinarily, I don't like the sound of that. Oh, I don't like the sound of that. Mage just died. Ah! Okay. Ow. Oh! Okay. Double the pleasure, double the fun, huh? Ow. Ow! Ooh, jeez. Okay, how about you guys just chill for a little bit? Okay. Ow! Oh no, don't go around. No. Oh, don't figure it out. Don't figure it out. Don't figure it out. Ooh, ow. No, don't figure it out. Please don't figure it out. Oh no, I think they're figuring it out. I think they figured it out. Okay. Ow. Okay. I hope the mage that just died was not the mage that I needed to, clobber. Oh, look. A zombie. The zombie is having a little difficulty figuring it out. This is fine. Hi. Oh, thank goodness you were just sort of hanging out in the corner. I'm not going to ask you what you were doing in the corner. What you do in the corner is your business. This is a good time to quick save. I do not have a whole lot of magic up. Actually, before we go and do this, let's go ahead and close that. Let's, Oh. You couldn't move, could you, buddy? Thanks. Ow. Oh god, I'm running out of heals. Oh, did you actually knock me back? Golly gosh, gee whiz. That sure was a welcoming party. Y'all didn't have to go to such trouble, really. Next time, I insist. Just a single person with, like, I don't know, a sandwich tray, a charcuterie board. It's just something nice and pleasant to greet me. Also, why is there a diving board? Is this supposed to be a pool? You know, this is probably going to be filled with water in some random instances, and that's fine. It's a very big pool, though. It's a very deep pool. I don't know that I trust that pool. Hi, you are... okay. I don't know what that spell effect was, but I'm glad it didn't last very long. A mithril mace. 4 to 15 damage. My dwarven warhammer does more, but if I need to go one hand and shield, that's the best option. I should probably take a nap. Let's tuck myself away in the corner here, and I'll be fine after a few hours. Yeah, see? Magic is full, nice and recharged. Stealth. No, it does not unlock. Well, let me go ahead and get my lockpick. Game Y. One of these sections. Ah! Sorry, I don't mean to shout when that happens. Well, I found the dead mage. That sounded like it came from over here, but that door is still closed, so it didn't come from over there. I don't know if I trust this lever. Yet. Oh, okay. This is gonna be one of those kind of areas. Alright. NaNoWriMo is shutting down. Well, that makes me sad. It's awfully... You can't shut down National Novel Writing Month. People are gonna write, regardless of whether or not there's a website for it. Okay, so that goes to that. That's not what I wanted. Let me check something here. Why do 2 levers... This makes no sense. Ah! Oh, jeez. No, 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 no. Oh, God. Lever, lever, lever! It would be great if this thing just squished it. Where did it go? I'm not sure that I would call this a success, Val. It's gotta be here somewhere. Okay, I have a theory, but I'm gonna save first because I'm certain that this is going to end badly. So if the zombie didn't get squished, so I won't get squished either, right? Oh. I guess that answers that question. Well, note to self, you can get squished. Good to know. Let's not do that again. Oh boy. Daggerfall, you are a special game and you hold a special place in my heart. Hi. You are just a random person? I guess you're not the mage I have to kill. Please let the mage that I have to kill not have been the one that was killed by an enemy somewhere floating around. That would be bad. That would be bad. Because I don't think the script for the quest completion triggers. Hi. You wanna... Ow. Ow. You feel somewhat bad. Oh no. Not another poison problem. Alright, what kind of poison is it? Oh, great. Willpower and personality. Great. How badly does it pulse? It doesn't? It doesn't. Cool. I'm okay with this. I mean, it sucks to have my attributes reduced for a little bit, but I can try and cure the poison later. I'm starting to feel a little lost. Clearly I've been here before, but I don't know if this is the direction I should be taking. Oh, no. Oh, we're back here. Well, I mean... if I'm here, I might as well go to the wagon. Come on. Hey, it worked. First try. Why didn't I notice that before? Wait a- oh, okay. I was gonna say, wait a minute. This isn't the exit. Yeah, it is. I don't think I need to hold on to the mithril mace for right now. Alright. Rest until healed. That would have been nice to have seen before. Then I wouldn't have had to cast Featherfall and then climb down and then go through all those shenanigans. I'm hearing doors open and I don't like it. I'm hearing a locked door be bashed open and I don't like it. Really? You're gonna make me jump? Okay. Okay, good to know. I hear a zombie. Wait a minute. Thought I heard a secret door. Yeah, that mod to make that whoosh sound louder is kind of important because I'm not always paying attention to the ambient sounds. Oh, look. I have been here before. Clearly. Why am I hearing zombie sounds? Oh, wait. This was around where I squished one. Ah! Where'd you come from? Ow. I need first aid. Hey, loot. Not very good loot, but I'll take it. Well then. Ah, yes, this was where I got startled by the zombie that was over here, and that was the thing and the stuff. And maybe we should probably check out this store before we go down. Nothing. Nothing. Cool. Good to eliminate possibilities. Have I been up here? I don't remember. Well, I'm gonna call that a no. I do wish I could bash that open, but... Wait, where was... Hang on. It was that lever, or that area. But there we go. Okay, there we are. I do wonder where that zombie went. The only thing I can... Wow, that's loud. The only thing I can think is it got pushed through the geometry. But where would it have landed? Well, not here. Ow! Oh, hello. I'm gonna steal your stuff. Oh, hi. I should probably be regenerating. Ouch. Loot. A barrel of the... Is there not a lever? Do I have to climb this? Are you gonna make me climb this whole thing? It's fine. Wait, what? No. Okay. Let's push our face against this wall. And then climb up this one. Oh. Oh no. Oh no! Jeez! Whew. Well, that was nearly fatal. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to have to find some other way to get through that. Well. angry zombie, and it doesn't seem very pleased to be in the situation that I've placed it. That's fine. The corpse belongs under the ground. I've just returned it. Hi, are you the person I need to kill? Please be the person I need to kill. You're not the person I need to kill. What am I using? Elven, okay. Are you the person I need to kill? Ow. Ow. Nope. Ivory? Okay. I can't carry anymore. The lack of animation frames when they die makes them look like they hit the ground extra hard. Kinda, yeah. Like when you're bringing your hammer like straight down on top of them and they just go from standing to splat. That's a pretty good indication that you pounded them into the ground. Let's see. Crunchy, very crunchy. Chain helm, I can remove leather helms. There we go. Hold on to all that stuff for me, would you? That's probably not good. Hi, thanks for opening that for me. Ow. You have slain Harsley, the Mad Wizard of the Tower of Mastering. Great. I can't carry anymore. Oh shoot, I think that's well, that's it for leather. Is there anything iron that I can swap out for steel? Hi. Come on, big guy. An elven saber, that'll be worth something. Leather helm. Okay, I think that's enough of that nonsense. Let's get out of here. Oh. It's 2 in the morning. That's fine. I'll come back. Run through the rainy night. Food, please. Orc is hungry. Orc is sleepy. Orc is casting spells. Orc is nap. What do you mean I feel somewhat bad? What? What happened? I've been poisoned by what? Oh no. When did I save? Okay. That was close. Just... Oh boy. Oh boy. Hi, Orc is feeling better now, but can I have breakfast? Did I select? Let me check something here. Okay, I picked critical weakness to poison. That's why enemies are doing it so much. So, fun fact, or at least fun observation. Anytime that you select a critical weakness or a weakness in something in your class, all of the mages will use it. Or, well, not mages. Like if it's a weakness to an element, the mages will use it. If it's a weakness to poison, you can expect a lot more poison usage by rogues. Well, no, those are not rogues. Those were mages. So just humanoids in general, I guess. And of course, if you're weak to disease, well, you can expect your body to rot. Nice of you to tell your enemies your weakness. I know, right? It's on this little piece of paper that tells you what my class is and all the different features and all of the different weaknesses that I've selected. And they'll be like, oh, thanks. I'm gonna stab you with this poison dagger now. Anyway. Hi. Once again, you astonish me with your skill and efficiency, I agree. An excellent job. The king will be as pleased as I am. Here's the Khajiit suit I promised. Enjoy it. I can't carry anymore. Oh no. Uh-oh. Can I put this on the floor? Hang on. Steel left pauldron. Okay, thank goodness. Of course, I could just do this. That would be smart. Well, let's go see what this enchanted Khajiit suit does, shall we? Hi, you're not who I want to talk to. Neither are you. Where's the identify guy? Do you identify things? No, you just train. Okay, that's fine. Oh my goodness. This place, I swear. Do you identify things? Yes, thank goodness. Save. Identify. This. Yep. Wildfire. Cast when used. Wildfire. Cool. So what you're telling me, it's a cat suit that makes me look hot. Oops. What does it replace? It replaces pants. That concerns me a little. I don't think I want to wear it. Not really. That's worth a decent amount of coin. Oh, excuse me. Pre-quest. Going quest. And quick save. Alright. Phew. Hopefully, soon we will be able to make enchanted stuff with the Mages Guild, which will set us up a little bit better for surviving in the future, because this game isn't going to get any easier. I think that's going to do it for tonight. I'm starting to get a little fatigued. Let us see. Let me check something here. I have the Twitch panel pulled up, and I'm like, button thing. These are just icons with no text, which is absolutely useless. Oh, you're very welcome, Val, and thank you all for popping in. I do want to say thank you again to both Hungry Gorilla and Valis for these subs. I do very much appreciate that. Let us find... Oh, here's the raid button. Oh my gosh, I'm just not used to these icons. Let us see. Let us see. You are very welcome, Eros, and thank you for popping in. I hope y'all enjoyed yourself. I hope that story time was good. Again, I will have that posted on YouTube probably tomorrow, and I'll post the Twitch VOD tonight. Like as soon as I go off stream here, I will go ahead and publish that. Let's see. Who's doing what? Let's go say hi to Jay Johnson. Oh, is it preloading? Okay, that's neat. It preloads it. Oh, okay, that's cool. I have to use that more often. Alright, so I do want to thank you all so very much for keeping me company on this journey to get to where I am today. I'm hoping to have more stuff. I'll have to figure out the emotes so that, like, we got more orc stuff in that direction. It might take me a little bit to get it all together, but I'll get there. I'll get there. As we wrap up, I do want to remind you all that you matter, you are important, you are cherished, and you are missed when you're not around. You deserve to be you. You can conquer the challenges that come your way. Have courage, be strong, and until next time, take care. Bye for now.